Say hello to the Ram 1500 Promaster, the high roof camper van that is fully loaded and has everything you would possibly need regarding your camping adventure. In this video, I'm gonna go with you step by step on everything you need to know to maximize and optimize your experience out on the open road and in nature. We're gonna talk about everything here in the front of the van, including the drivetrain, how to navigate the cruise control, navigating the stereo system, the Bluetooth audio system that comes included, the rear view backup camera. We're gonna talk about everything inside of the van itself. It's fully electrical setup, the fans on top, solar panels on top, along with the full kitchen, the sink, the pressurized water, the refrigerator, etc. and so on. All of the lighting, all of the storage things that you need to be aware of. And of course, we're also going to talk about the back of the van as well. This is going to include the bed, your sleeping system, the lighting, etc. and so on. So starting off here in this video, the first thing I want you to learn about is going to be the key. So coming in here, I want to show you how the key works. The key is not a key fob, it's an actual key. You press that button right there to engage and activate the key coming out. Now, one thing to be mindful about, whenever you're locking the van, yes, it's as simple as pressing the lock button, but if you do not hear that audible sound whenever you press the button, that means that something is still open, right? So the lock and the unlock button are located right here. If you want to unlock the actual van itself in terms of the sliding door and the back doors, you're going to have to press this button right here. That is how you're going to activate this. Now, important, okay? Let's say you think the van's closed, you kind of shut the door kind of haphazardly like so, and whenever you leave to go lock the van, you'll tap the lock button right here, but nothing will actually auditorially come on, right? You're not hearing the beeping sound. That's an indicative, that means that something is not fully closed, right? So come over here, make sure this bad boy is fully shut, and you press that lock button, boom, baby, you hear that lock button. So that's how you work and navigate the key. Really simple, really important as well to learn. Now, let's go ahead and show you everything you need to know here inside of the front of the van. As you enter the van, on the passenger side, I'm gonna show you what's going on here. You got plenty of storage here on both sides, a cup holder, along with a really deep storage right there. Coming in here, you're gonna have access to the glove compartment. When you open the glove compartment, this is where you're gonna locate the driver manual, which is nice to have, but also 2 rechargeable LED lights as well. You got plenty of storage cubby space right here. You're even welcome to put some stuff on top as well. Now let's get in and show you what's going on in the center console of the media of the van. One really important thing to note as well is right here on the driver's side door, on this bottom right corner, you'll open this up. That's how you're gonna fill up the gas tank, right? So you fill up the gas tank right here. It's right next to the driver's side door. And then when you're done, you'll close this little door here, but that's where the gas tank is. It's in this nice little cubby door right here. We're inside the van. I'm gonna show you how to turn it on, okay? You get the key right here, pop into there, put your foot in the brake, turn it on, right? We're now gonna go through everything you need to know in regards to when the van actually turns on here at the infotainment center, how to activate your media, what the van includes with in terms of some charging cables, and I'm gonna show you right now. So if you're looking over here at this specific section right here, you can see that you've got some plugins right here, a USB and USB-C, along with a USB right there. So plenty of ports for you to charge your electrical devices, your phones, etc. So you can plug in like this right here and charge, right? If you want to connect directly to the car, to the van itself, you'll come over here, and deeper inside here, there's actually another port for you to connect directly to the USB, and that'll connect your phone directly to the audio system, which is really cool. If you want to set up the Bluetooth audio system, you need to make sure that you're not moving, and you come over here to the media standpoint, and you can actually talk, see no media available. You can actually talk to the van. Press the Bluetooth button here on the steering wheel to engage. Connect Bluetooth. So you say connect Bluetooth.
Please use the touch screen to connect your audio device.
As you see, you hear that? Boom, you go ahead and start adding devices, pair devices, remove devices. You'll need to do all of this while the van is not moving, right? So that's how you set up the charging cables along with the Bluetooth, which is really cool. And now let's talk about the rear view camera. All you do is activate R or reverse, and you'll see that you have a nice camera here. I definitely recommend using it whenever you're backing up the van. It's a huge help, most definitely. And now let's talk about the windshield wipers. You're gonna hit this little button here on the right. That activates the windshield wipers, which is super clutch. If you wanna play around with the up and down here on the steering wheel, you've got up and down for the volume. You can skip songs, you can take and answer phone calls right here. Really handy, really good stuff. If you want to as well, navigate and activate the cruise control. It's a little tricky, but what you'll do is you'll hit this thing, you'll twist this like that, and you'll see that it says cruise on, right? And then to activate the cruise control, you'll simply press down, and then if you want to turn it off, you'll twist this like so, and it'll say cruise control off, right? So that's nice. Here we go. We got the lighting here. No automatic mode, so they're either on or they're off. The left and the right blinker. You've got, of course, the hazard button right here, just in case you need to pull over, there's an emergency. And then, of course, too, I want to go over this. This right here is called the Listen audio. This is kind of where your phone will go, right? So this is where your phone will go. On the back of it, it's kind of, intuitive, but right here is where you'll tap, and you'll see that it opens up, right? So you'll put your phone right there, you'll close it like this, and then boom, you've got your Bluetooth or your navigation going on right here, which is really nice. Don't just grab your phone, okay? Whenever it's right here, don't just grab it. Make sure you press this button to open it, and then you can remove your phone, a lot easier, right? So right there's how you crunch it. You close your phone on there. Tapping it right here is how you open it. Super handy. That's pretty much everything you need to know regarding the front of the van, how to operate it. Oh yeah, one last thing. So if you're right here, you're in park, right? You can go down to D mode, which is drive. And then if you're ever going down a steep hill or something like that, you can flip this to the left, and you're welcome to downshift, right? You're welcome to upshift and downshift. And you'll see that gear knob right there. It says 1, 2, 3, 4. You're welcome to use that whenever you're going down intense terrain or, steep roads, etc. So there you have it. That's everything you need to know regarding the front of the van, how to operate it, the heating, the electrical, the media here, the cruise control, etc. and so on. Now let's take things to the fun part, which is the back of the van. Now it's time to get into the meat and the potatoes of this camper van system, right? That's the back of the van. What you'll do, remember, is you'll tap this bottom button right here to unlock the middle portion of the van. Voila, baby. Here's the inside of the van. And remember, before you get into the van itself, always be sure to remove your shoes, or at the very least, make sure the bottoms of your feet are nice and clean. If you remove your shoes, what I recommend doing is just sitting right here on the edge of the ledge of the van, and then just remove your shoes. It'll help keep the van a lot cleaner. It'll help save you some time as well. So for the sake of this video, I'm removing my shoes. Now let's go ahead and come in here and show you what's going on in the inside of the van. As you walk into the van, you'll notice a few different things. You're gonna have this station right here, which is a nice carpeted mat, along with a really big and nice ottoman, which is gonna have a lot of storage stuff inside, including your camping chairs, extra linens, blankets, etc., all accessible through here. Here you can also see we've got the Primo water right here, which is really convenient. To activate the water, it's quite simple. All you do is you just tap this button on the top, and you'll feel it turn on, and then you can feel it turn off. That's your drinking water, right? So that's how this works. You got the ottoman, you got this really nice non-slip, comfortable, rug right inside. Here as well, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the storage along with the refrigerator system. So the refrigerator is quite simple. Everything is marine grade, which means as you're driving around, ideally drawers and things shouldn't be opening, but sometimes they do. To open this refrigerator, all you do is you click right here and you just pull it open, right? You've got a nice side door here, refrigerator space, plenty of space right here. On this top left corner, you actually have a shoebox freezer, right? Shoebox freezer right here to keep your stuff cool. If you wanna, make it cooler in here, you can go from 1 all the way up to 3 or 4, however you would like to navigate or, have your temperature be set up for the refrigerator. Pretty simple and pretty awesome. Having a refrigerator on the road is a big deal, all right? Now let's talk about the storage, right? So right here, all of these storages are just press and they open, right? This right here is sort of like your junk or like your miscellaneous drawer, but you'll tap and you open this. It's quite simple. If you want to see what's going on in here, this is important to note as well. You'll open this up. You have paper towels, which is really handy, along with a gray water and a fresh water tank. The fresh water tank is the one right here to the left, and it's activated through a quick connect system, right? And then this is gray water right here is what collects water. Really important. Whenever you want to use the sink, you'll tap this button on and you'll feel it. That's a pressurizer. And then when you turn on the water, you'll feel it start doing its thing. Making sure as you're using the sink, when things are going under the sink here into the actual sink, try not to have any food whatsoever be put inside of this sink, okay? So make sure your dishes and plates and things like that, your bowls are really clean before you start rinsing them off, okay? You got the paper towels, you got some cleaning material, you got some propane, which is how you actually use the Coleman Grill, which let's go ahead and demonstrate really quickly. So go ahead and come into the van here, and you'll see how to open up this Coleman Grill. It's quite simple. You'll open this up like so. You'll activate or open up these wings, and these wings have little holes here on the side where they'll go in to make sure that they stay nice and stable. And then to turn on the stove, this is a portable stove, which is really cool. So you can cook in the van, but I also recommend getting out into nature and cooking on a van. As we get to the back of the van, you'll see that you included in this van is two camping tables, which is really clutch for being able to cook outside if you don't already have access to a table outside. So this is portable. Whenever you go about setting this up, it's quite simple. You'll take this guy right here and you'll screw it in on the right side over here. There's a little hole for it. You'll screw it in. You'll attach one of these propane tanks that's in right here to this bad boy. And then whenever you spin this left, you'll hear the sound, knowing that, you know, some propane is starting to spew out. You'll take a nice little lighter and then ignition, baby. You got yourself some fire. And then to find access to your, you know, pots and pans, that's going to be right over here. I recommend when you're driving or when you're not using it, keep this closed. It'll make things a little bit easier. So over here on the left, right here at the top, you press, remember, and it'll just nicely open up. These are all your utensils. You have some knives for cutting vegetables, along with, you know, some spoons, some wooden spoons, and some forks and all that good stuff. In this next drawer, you've got, you know, some paper plates and some bowls, which is nice to have. This drawer here, the love drawer, you've got your hard plates and your hard bowls. And then down here, you've got, you know, your cooking ware, a pot and stove, and along with that, included in this camper van is going to be a really sweet system for making coffee, right? So setting up the coffee here is quite simple. It is, you know, a plug-in. So you'll have this plug and you'll come over here towards the inverter and you'll plug this puppy in right over here, right? This will be on the off switch right there. If you want to turn it on, all you need to do is just hit that little switch right there. You'll hear it beep, and then now you've got some power, right? Which is super cool. And then when you're done with this, you go ahead and just flip that off. I recommend, you know, taking this coffee thing and putting it back inside as well, this little area. And you'll notice too, in this little area as well, there are some cutting boards for you to have access to as well. Whenever you're cutting up your fruits or your vegetables or your meats, your proteins, etc. And then whenever you put this in, you'll notice if you put it in right, it should fit like perfect and be able to slide back underneath and lock back into place perfectly. Now let's talk about some of the stuff up here. This van does come fully loaded, and it includes a really nice Bluetooth audio speaker that you can set up in or outside the van. You've got these two really cool Yeti style cups that are insulated. They'll keep things warm, they'll keep things cool. You have the option of utilizing the straw here, or if you want, you can also open things up here, right? And sip out of it like a tea or a coffee mug. So these are super handy. You've got, you know, some pump action here for your soap, your dish soap. You've got some extra cups, these beautiful flowers, some nice artwork. Really cool, awesome setup up here. Keep in mind too, when you're in the camper van, and let's say you're on the roll, right? If you're like leaving a cup like this, and you think it's gonna be chill vibes when you're driving around, Not gonna be chill vibes, okay? This is gonna fall over immediately and it's gonna get weird, right? So you need to make sure, as a van lifer, you're making sure that everything is in secure places. You'll even notice here, the Coleman Grill is on top of a non-slip mat. So this puppy ain't going nowhere. We don't have things kind of loosely around because we understand that they'll move. Putting things inside of this little wooded area, this golden wooded area, is a great way to know that stuff won't be slipping around or moving around. You know what I'm saying? Now let's talk about the electrical, right? Let's talk about the electrical. Here in this section, you have access to the Wabasso, which is a fully functioning heater system that will heat the inside of the cabin and just slowly sip some of the gasoline while the van is turned off to heat it up. Now, to see where the Wabasso comes out of, let me show you this. So if you turn around here and you look down yonder, this right here is actually where the heat will come out for the Wabasso. We'll include a PDF on step-by-step on how all the electrical stuff works. So be sure that you look at that video or those pictures as you're, renting the van, because all the information will be on there. So that's the Wabasso. You simply spin it, turn it on, and it'll heat on, right? Here as well, you've got access to 4 USB charging stations, which is super incredible. You have this right here, which is a light switch. As you're coming in here, you can turn on and off the lights. You can also dim the lights as well with this dimmer switch. Right here's a remote for your MaxxAir fans. This van does come included with 2, not 1, but 2 MaxxAir fans. They're gonna be right above you. If you start to look the camera upwards, you'll see that there is these fans. And to open this up, it's Velcroed. You can take these off or you can fold them into each other because they're magnetic, which is pretty cool. And then you've got access to the fan up here, right? 1 fan here, along with 1 fan over there as well. Both of them have that Velcro covering. If you want to power things on, you'll go ahead and just press the buttons here. You got different fan speeds. It's quite nice. You want to turn them off, you can just point at them and turn them off as well. Super handy. The MaxxAir fans will keep things ventilated, which is cool. You also have 2 things here, 2 remotes here that are Velcroed onto the wall. This one right here, if you point it towards this corner over here, you'll see that these nice twinkle lights will turn on. And these are actually fantastic lights to use at nighttime because this other main light can be a little bit too powerful. And with that being said, you also have another LED light remote, which if you point over here, you can see the receptors actually right here. If you point it over here, you'll turn it on. Underneath, let me take you with me underneath, you'll see that there are some LED lights that are being turned on, right? You see those lights right there? And to turn them off, all you do is you hit this off button with the remote, come back underneath here, and they're now off. While we're underneath the van right now, you have access to this broom, which is actually placed right underneath here and clipped in right there, which is super handy. If you want to have this water, as you'll see, you want to have access underneath here, you'll need to remove the 5-gallon water jug, which is just simply wrapped around behind right here. Included back here as well, it's a good spot to put your shoes, by the way, in this area. You've got this right here, which is a nice little dustpan if you want to, dust things off really quickly. Definitely recommend that. You can remove this by coming back here, and you see that little black thing? You'll just untie that little guy right there, and then you'll be able to remove that. And then inside of here, when you open it, you've got all your linens, you've got extra blankets. That right there, this thing right here is a fantastic picnic blanket, which I recommend utilizing whenever you set up a campsite outside. It's really great. And then underneath everything is camping chairs, which are really handy to have, right? So this is the garage space. It's quite large, honestly, and fantastic. Let me take you over here, and you'll see that you have 2 of these tables right here, along with a little toolbox just in case you need access to some tools for whatever reason. Now, underneath the van, let me move these tables around a little bit, show you what's going on, okay? So here, this black thing is where the cells are for the batteries, right? Which is run off of 2 things. You have the charging station, which is run off of the solar panels up top. So you can see right now, we're sitting pretty at 100% batteried and capacity. Whenever you drive the van, it's actually really cool, but the drivetrain will actually charge everything up here as well. You do have a carbon monoxide alarm just in case things are getting weird. Here's all like your fuses, your electrical system. For the most part, you won't really have to worry or utilize this at all. If anything comes up, you know, refer back to the PDF or give me a call if anything comes up. But here's a nice way to just kind of look at how things are flowing. Remember that on and off switch right here to turn on this inverter. 2000 watt Renogy, super awesome stuff, honestly. Now that we've kind of talked about some of the things here on the inside of the van, let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff at the back of the van as well. And that includes the incredible sleeping system, right? So the sleeping system is quite simple. You do have this really awesome bed. We recommend lying this way, right? Head over here, feet over here. You have close to about 6 feet worth of width this way. So if you are taller, another thing, because I'm a taller guy, I recommend about 6'2", sleeping this way, long ways, right? So you put the pillows on that side towards the back of the van and you extend your feet this way. That way you have about, 6 to 8, 10 inches even, depending on how tall you are, worth of space to be able to stretch your legs out. So you have 2 ways of sleeping in the van. One is horizontally this way, or the other way is long ways, put the pillows over there and sleep this direction, right? So really great setup. Simple system here with the bed mattress, just a nice comforter, some sheets. Remember, you have your extra linens and blankets underneath here. We include those. We have a nice blanket right here. Now let's actually talk about some of the things regarding whenever you're setting up for bed, how to, kind of blacken out some of the windows, right? So if you come over here, you'll see that right here up top is more storage, right? Super handy. This right here, you'll unravel, and this is actually gonna go ahead and cover the front windshield, okay? There's pretty much only one way to properly put this on. This right here, this little notch is where the rear view mirror is at, right? So just put this on there, close down those little handy dandy visors, and that'll help lock this. Also, we have this as well, these Reflectix, this insulation for these front windows. There's a little suction cup that you'll put against it, and that'll is what's gonna hold it and keep it there. So that'll insulate the van and also allow and provide you some privacy at night, right? So these typically are stored up here, so whenever you're done using them, just roll them up in the morning and strive as well when you're rolling them up. Let me show you this. Right here, you can see how this Velcro has actually gotten attached to the carpet, and it'll tend to fray the carpet or the rug there. So be mindful about that when you're rolling it up. Try to keep it off of the carpet. And then once you've got it rolled up, you quite simply wrap this around on itself. Bada boom, bada bang. That's set up. Whenever you're turning on and off some of these twinkle lights, remember you got your remote, aim over here to the corner, boom, hit the twinkle light button to turn it off. And then these remotes quite simply go back right over here where they first originally were. Super awesome, super simple. Let's go towards the back of the van and begin wrapping up this video. We've talked about the fans, the kitchen, the refrigerator. Oh yeah, one more thing worth mentioning here is this is your trash can, right? The trash can is super handy. It's right over here in the corner. It tends to stay over there. It doesn't really move around, which is super nice. And then if you come behind the trash can, we have a yoga mat back there as well. So your call, if you want to use that yoga mat, you can, but the yoga mat's back there along with, the trash can as well. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed everything you've learned about the kitchen, the refrigerator, the water, the sink, the pressurized system, how the drawers work. It's quite awesome. All the electrical, all of the lighting. Now let's wrap up the video and go towards here, the back. Now let me show you how the swivel seat system works for the front passenger seat. That seat does actually swivel around and it's fantastic. So as you're coming into the van, I myself am gonna just sit right here, and you'll notice if you zoom in right over here, come very close, you'll see on this left side, there's this little lever. Pull that lever up, and as that's pulled up, bada boom, bada bang, baby. I am spinning in space and time right now. Bango. So whenever you set up camp, it's so comfortable just to be able to sit down like so, There's another seat right over here, which is the ottoman, which acts as a seat, but also acts as a way to step on and off of the bed comfortably and safely. Whenever you're driving and leaving, remember to come to the left side of this, pull this puppy up, and go ahead and start spinning around. And as I'm spinning around, you'll feel it kind of click into place, boom, when it's locked and loaded. So that's how you operate the front seat swivel. Now we're here at the back of the van. I just want to show you a few more little things. You have access to this storage black thing right here if you'd like it. You don't have to have it, but this is super nice to have if you have extra things. It is on a 2-inch hitch, so if you want to bring a bike rack, you can actually hook the bike rack on here. We include a bike rack as an add-on as well. But if you want to throw your bikes inside of here or your snowboards or whatever gear you've got, there's plenty of garage space, you know, close to about 3-ish feet worth of space underneath here for any extra items that you may have. Super handy to get access to it. These are your tables, as I was pointing to earlier. You've got a little box right there. If you come over here as well, you'll notice on this side, on this driver or passenger side of the van, you have a nice campsite sort of outdoor trash bag, which is super cool. And if you come a little closer, you'll even notice there's several hooks. There are several hooks, and there's several hooks in the middle of the van as well, sort of around the perimeters by the kitchen and towards the front of the van. Those hooks are gonna be excellent for you to hang up little things. Strive to not put more than 4.5 pounds on said hooks, so that way they don't fall off and things don't get weird. But those hooks are absolutely handy for sure. So yeah, that's the back of the van. So there you have it. That's everything you need to know, A to Z, regarding this incredible Highroof Ram Promaster camper van. I know it's gonna serve you incredibly well on your camping and your outdoor adventure. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any further questions. And remember, you are liable if there's ever any damage to this van, you are liable to that. And we recommend always driving as slow and as cautiously as possible, especially around turns. Strive not to take this van on any back road, dirt roads, rocky roads. Do not do that. Save yourself the heartache. This van is a front wheel drive van, which is awesome for traction in all 4 seasons, but it's not an off-road vehicle, right? So if you're on those country roads, you're out there in the backcountry, just go slow. Please honor and respect this van. This van means the world to my girlfriend and I. We absolutely love it, and we know you're gonna derive a lot of value from it as well. So thank you for watching. Reach out with any questions. Peace and love.